Hey, Modern Explorer 2020. We are out here today because I'm gonna go find some Shagbark hickory so I can make some Shagbark hickory syrup. So let's get at it. So, I don't really know what the story is this year, but the hickory trees had a huge amount of nuts on them. And so I was out here in the same area and I finally tried hickory nuts, which are really good. Picked a bunch of those, tried them out, and then I saw this recipe for Shagbark hickory syrup, which is supposed to work just like maple syrup. And I figured Christmas weekend, gonna see the kids. We're gonna be up in the New Hampshire, like wilderness on a farm. And so we're gonna go check it out. So I know that there's some hickory, Shagbark hickory, and I can see it already. So we're gonna grab some, and I'm gonna make some hickory tea out here, see what it's like. And then I'm gonna take a bunch home and we're gonna show you how we make it into syrup. And we'll see how it goes. So this seems to be where all the hickories are. Here's your Shagbark. It's like one of those trees that you can't mistake for something else. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna peel some off. The most important thing is don't hurt the tree. So you never wanna wring the tree all the way around. And actually with this bark, the only thing you really need to use is the outer layers that are coming off. At least that's what it said. That's why I like trying these things, because there's a lot of people out there smarter than me. So I just listen to what they have to say, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Southern grind knife. Super cool, easy. So let's go see what we got here. You don't need a knife for it. I mean, it's all peeling off, so it's pretty simple. There's no real smell to this other than like your regular wood smell, so I'm not really sure how this is gonna turn out. But let's cook some up and make some tea. It's cold out here today. Let's cook it up, make some tea, and see how it tastes. So I'm just gonna, all I did was I took some of the bark, snapped it down inside the water. We're just gonna boil it up here and get it until the tea's real dark, like a tea. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of organic cane sugar in it just to give it some flavor. And we're gonna make a little tea out here in the wild. When I get home, I'm actually gonna I'll probably clean the bark a little bit better. And I'm gonna put all the extra bark I have into a pot. I'm gonna boil that up until the tea's nice and dark. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put equal parts of organic cane sugar in until we can make a syrup out of it. And that's what we're gonna have on our pancakes this weekend. One of the suggestions that was made, which was really cool, was you can actually char some of the bark to give it a smoky flavor. And I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not this time. I think this time I'm just gonna keep it super simple. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll get back to you once this is all boiled up and ready to go. Tastes like bark. Okay, so my tea's looking pretty good, but I decided that it's probably gonna be a little plain. So one of the things that you can find in the winter, and I'll do another video on this, is Japanese barberry. It's an invasive species, but you'll see these little red berries. They'll be around all winter long. If you've ever kind of been in the woods and you've been stuck with those prickly brush, maybe on some groomed trails, it's usually barberry. So I'm actually just going to throw these in here for a little bit and let it cook. Apparently barberry, various species, can be used for things like hypertension, tachycardia, that kind of stuff, but I'm just gonna do it because you can add a little bit of vitamin C in it. And you know, it'll kind of make it look cool. Maybe it'll add a little flavor for me. Ooh, there we go, they're popping. So it's boiled down to a pretty nice dark flavor. I don't have a strainer, but this Stanley cooking thing that I got really is quite cool. So it has a strainer built into the top. So I'm gonna pour everything into here. All right, and what I'm going to do is use the strainer on the back of this to strain the tea back in. And let's see how this actually goes. So by doing this, I'm kind of straining all the bark and all the berries out. So I'll have my straight tea. And then of course, everything that we've done is organic, so we can just toss it right in the woods. Well, it's still got some sediment in it, but you know, that's part of being outdoors. So, now I'm gonna add a little bit of organic sugar. You really don't have to. Now I'm putting it in my cool mug, and I'm going to pour it in here. You're gonna get to see my first impression of Shagbark Hickory tea. Looks good though, look. Inside, it looks pretty nice. Here we go. Cheers. So it definitely does have a bark kind of flavor to it, but it's also a little bit sweet. Of course, I already added the sugar to it, but it's got kind of an earthy kind of flavor, and you can taste the barberries coming through a little bit. It's good. I would do this again easily. So cheers, try it at home. So barberries are all over the place. You can see them, they're nasty. See how pointy they are? They're an invasive species, so we really don't want to, you know, if you can get rid of them, you can try and get rid of them. But here's the berries. So these berries will be around. It's now, what, December, mid-December. And so these berries, they can be eaten. They don't have a lot of flavor, but they do have vitamin C. And first time I'm trying them, but I'm gonna put them into tea. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I will try and do one just on barberry alone at some point. But you know what's really cool, what I really love is I really love the fact that even in the middle of winter, when there doesn't seem to be anything out there to eat or forage, there's always something you can find, which I find really super cool. You know, if you know what you're looking for, I mean, certainly not as much as in the spring, but there's always some super cool stuff that you can find and, you know, play around with, and, you know, that's safe, but at the same time, you can go out and forage and get yourself outside. All right, thanks for joining me today. Hope you had some fun. Go outside, get outside and cook up some bark and pick some barberries and get some exercise and get that fresh air. We'll see you later.